Next up, if you would welcome Megan Ladd.
A number of years ago, I was at a conference, excuse me, and on the last day, as is pretty typical, they had a big banquet where there was this nice meal, and they had awards and speeches, and afterwards, there was a little party where there was dancing and a couple of adult beverages, and when that was coming to a close, a bunch of us went off in search of the after party that we had heard about. And so we're strolling through the hotel rooms, the hotel hallways, looking for the party, and one of my friends stops, and she throws up her arms, and she just says, "I love being me." And everybody is hooting and hollering. Everybody except me. I felt like I had just been punched in the stomach. I dropped to my knees. I'm sobbing uncontrollably. Nobody knows what's going on. My friend and a couple of other women came over. They're comforting me. They're trying to get me to settle down. I finally compose myself somewhat, and I excuse myself. I go back to the hotel room. As I'm lying there, thinking about what had just happened, it struck me, it was so impactful because she had such joy in her voice. And I knew that the next day, I was going to go back to Dave and the rest of my family. Dave's the one on the left. And the rest of my family. And that didn't bring me a lot of joy. Not that I didn't love everybody in my family, but I just didn't like being me. You see, I was Dave, and the conference that I was at was a gathering for the transgender community. I had struggled with my gender identity my whole life, but particularly that last year or so had been especially difficult. That night, after lots of thought, I finally decided I was going to transition. Now, there was a little bit of comfort in that, but it quickly kind of got dissipated because the whole process, it just seemed so daunting. And in addition, I knew that to varying degrees, my decision was going to be a life-changing event for everybody I knew. From my family, to my friends, to my coworkers, to casual acquaintances. But I started the process. And as I was trying to make my way as a woman in the world, I came to realize that it wasn't so much that I was learning to be female, I was unlearning being male. Finally, I was starting to strip away all those barriers that I had built up guarding myself, that were hiding my true, authentic self. A friend of mine likens it to, it was like a piece of marble that slowly I was chipping away to reveal the beautiful piece of art beneath. Fast forward a couple of years, and I'm back in a hotel room. It's the night before my surgery. And I'm lying there and nervously excited, lots of anticipation, range of emotions. And I still had this little nagging occasional thought of, what if I'm wrong? What if I didn't really do the work I needed to do? So I vacillated the whole evening, excited, happy, what if? I didn't get a lot of sleep that night. When I woke up from the surgery, the first day they keep you in bed, And then the second day, the nurses come in and they encourage you to get up, take a shower, get ready, start moving about. So after they left, I kind of got myself together, went into the bathroom to take a shower, and right as I walked through the doorway, there's a full-length mirror. Sorry. There I was, finally. After 40 plus years, everything matched up. It was amazing. I was captivated by myself. I couldn't stop looking. And it was a moment filled with joy. There's a quote attributed to Anais Nin that goes something like, "And the day came when the risk to remain in the blossom, to remain in the bud was more painful than the risk to blossom." I look back, January 17th, 2004, as that day when it was too painful to remain in that bud. Since that time, I've done a lot of growing and a lot of blossoming. And one thing I know for sure is I love being me.